Miss X. Miss X was found near Porter Road in a rural area outside of Bear, Delaware, not to be confused with Little Miss X, who is a different decedent, who I will also be covering today. Miss X is believed to have died elsewhere and was transported to where she was found. Her bare legs were covered with a laundry bag that belonged to a laundry and dry cleaning company that was located in Trenton, New Jersey. The original owner of that laundromat has passed away in the years since she was found, but relatives of the owner believe that they remember the customer of the laundry that could be Miss X. However, they do not know her name. The police tried tracing her through genetic genealogy, and distant maternal relatives of the unidentified woman were found in Virginia and North Carolina. Unfortunately, none of these relatives have any idea who she could be. The unidentified woman has been buried in Potter's Field in Delaware. When Miss X's case was originally investigated, authorities believed that she passed away due to the result of an illegal abortion. They came to this conclusion because there was a soap-like substance found within her body. However, medical personnel eventually discovered that she and her unborn child died of untreated sepsis. A confusing component is that while she appears to have died from natural causes, who moved her body and why? Why did no one offer a clue as to who she was when her body was publicized? Surely someone knew the answers and could have given her the dignity of burying her with her real name. Another puzzling factor is that her body was partially naked when she was found at the location. For some reason, the laundry bag was put on her legs. She was very petite and had a distinctive body type, as her bra size was estimated to be about 34 double D, which would be unusual for someone of her height. She was 3 months pregnant at her death, and her teeth were in good condition, and she's believed to have not been homeless. Law enforcement has announced that they are not interested in who transported her body, but primarily just who she is. When her case was re-examined in 2011, a vial of her blood and a hair ribbon was found in an evidence container. It's important to remember at the time there was no thought of DNA, so unfortunately many of these cases do not have DNA to fall back on. Her DNA linked her maternally to those individuals in Virginia and North Carolina, but to no one else so far. Little Miss has gone unidentified for 54 years. The contact information for those in charge of her case is found on your screen. Little Miss Nobody. A local family was searching for rocks and instead found a girl's partially buried body. It was found in a creek bed in Congress, Arizona, on July 31, 1960. The forensic pathologist determined she had been dead for 1 to 2 weeks and that she had a full set of baby teeth. Her age is believed to be between 4 and 9 years of age. It is believed she was white and may have been born to migrants or lived in poverty. Her shoes were adult-sized flip-flops crudely cut to be child-sized. Disturbances in the sand near where she was found buried make it appear several attempts were made to bury her body prior to the hole she was partially buried in. Due to advanced decomposition, her cause of death couldn't be determined. Some reports suggest she may have been burned in an attempt to dispose of her body. Because of her age, it was unusual that she had brown hair that had been dyed or tinted an auburn or reddish-brown color. Her toes and fingernails were red. Over the years, the sheriff's office received dozens of letters and telephone calls. Her DNA was successfully processed and has been entered into the National Database for Missing Persons. There's no indication it's been compared to GEDmatch for wider results. A local radio DJ is the one who penned the name Little Miss Nobody. He raised donations to purchase a grave for her burial, and 70 local people attended her funeral. Her casket bore the inscription, "God's Little Child." Over the years, many local people have placed flowers on her grave throughout the year. As I've mentioned before in other videos, I won't ever include post-mortem photos on my videos, in part because it might upset someone, but mostly because it feels like it's disrespectful to me. However, I will always tell you they exist just in case they might help someone identify her. There is in fact one photo of her available on the internet. This child, had she lived, would likely be in her late 60s today. She has gone unidentified for 60 years. If you have any information at all that might help, the number is on your screen. Little Miss X. On October 31st, 1958, the body of a young child was found on a small hill just off a dirt road. The hill was located 10 miles southeast of Grand Canyon near Williams, Arizona. Her body was completely skeletonized and was found lying face down. Her age is estimated to be between 11 and 17 years old. She died somewhere around a year to a year and a half earlier. Although her cause of death was not obvious, it's believed to be a homicide because of where she was found. Her condition seemed to indicate she was well cared for prior to her death, and she is likely missed by her family. She was found completely nude, however there were clothing items found nearby. The clothes found near her included a white cardigan, which had short sleeves, and a pair of capri pants that were brown, green, and red. Oddly enough, it appears that the clothing was large for the victim, however, and it included a bra size 34C, which would be very large for her size. It is entirely possible the clothes found in the vicinity were not hers at all. Near the body, however, was a 10-karat gold chain, as well as Pond's face cream. There was also a white comb and a blue nail file that had the letters P and R scratched into it. There was internet speculation that the file may have belonged to a missing person named Donis Redman, who went by the name Pinky. It appears, however, that she has since been excluded as a match. Miss X had wavy brown hair that was lightened at the time. The most disturbing part of this case is little Miss X's body appears to have gone missing, unless they found it and not reported it in the papers since. It was believed at one point that she could be Connie Smith, who went missing 69 years ago at the age of 10, possibly kidnapped by carnival workers or gypsies from Arkansas. Little Miss X was eventually exhumed, and her dental records were compared to this child, and she was excluded. However, some members of her family weren't sure this wasn't her, and they decided that they wanted a DNA test done. It was then that they decided the body should be exhumed again. The problem being the body in that grave was not little Miss X's. It's highly unlikely that little Miss X is Connie, as the age doesn't fit as well as the time that she went missing. It would mean that there was a 3 or 4 year gap where Connie would have had to have lived with someone prior to her death. If the speculation I'm reading about is true, it appears that her body is somewhere within Citizen Cemetery in Flagstaff, Arizona, but it appears to have been put in a different grave. There's no indication if they ever identified the person who was found in Little Miss X's grave. The sad part, however, of course, is that if Little Miss X's body is missing, then there is no way genetic genealogy will ever be able to place her with her relatives. Even if it's a case of someone coming forward, they use that DNA to confirm it. Hopefully by this time her body has been found. Little Miss X has gone unidentified for 63 years. Her contact information is on the screen. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. If anyone is able to identify these does, I will do my best to pin the information below the video. Take care of yourselves and each other.